Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome wherever you are joining from. Welcome. We are going to kickstart. We are going to kickstart when we get to 1,000 likes. We're going to kickstart the program immediately when we get to 1,000 like. Welcome and thank you for joining this program. Of course, you can see the program, the topic of the program, the atom that we know in physics versus the creator, the nature of the creator and sentience. Crack God and its ways and see how he will work. Let's do it once more. As you are joining us, share the video, like the video. 1,000 like, we proceed. Okay, welcome guys, welcome. While you are joining us, share the video. I hope you have seen the topic that we have. The topic that we have, it is a very crucial and intriguing topic that we have to talk about this afternoon, this evening, this morning, depending on your time zone, wherever you are joining us from. Share the video. It is time for us to actually know who our creator is, because we talked about this last week. My apologies, I couldn't make it to to expand this topic the weekend last weekend, but I believe that that's why I came online this time. It is not my actual time to come online, but we need to understand, deep dive into this topic, and we are going to actually bring more insight to it, and clarity as well, because tonight or in the morning or in the afternoon, I don't know what time is it in your own end, from your own end, we are going to navigate, and I'm going to expose to you how our fourth dimension is. Many people believe that we live in the third dimension, but we are in a fourth dimension. I am going to explain to you how this works in our realm, how our earth is actually all about, and earth is not our home. I am going to actually prove that to you, that earth is not our home beyond every reasonable doubt. And I'm going to actually tell you how our home looks like, because our home, we were taken away from our home now. And I'm going to also enlighten you about the reason why we were taken away from our home and who did it. So, but first of all, we need to understand the creator of all, the source of all creation, where everything emanated, and where you call the quantum entanglement, and that what you call quantum entanglement in quantum physics, it does not have sentience, and now or you call it a wormhole. Many physicists calls it a wormhole, because it is a place where everything came from now, and that is the source of creation. And that source of creation is what we need to understand. There are gods, there is source. There are gods, there is source. From that source, every god came from. So we need to understand the source, then we understand gods. And we are part of this chain that is called God. So if we understand the nature of God and sentience, now we go through to the one we know very well, which talks about atom. If we all know that atom is the building block of everything in existence, atom is the building block of everything in existence. We understand that very well. So atom is actually the source of existence, the source of everything in existence. Now it is the only thing that can give us the knowledge of how the main source of creation is. And that source of creation is number one, before you multiply. So it is exactly what we are here to talk about, because if we understand that this topic is quite intriguing, and it has a lot of nuances, and it is quite a very intriguing topic that we need to navigate with a lot of care and clarity, because we must bring clarity to it. Otherwise, you will not understand it. If you are on and off, you will not understand where we are heading to. Because the reason why we are doing this thing is because we want to actually bring to people exactly what they've been doing wrong, and the reason why there is no relationship anymore between us and the source, where all of us came from, and the source decided to turn his back on us. And that's why we are roaming like a sheep without shepherd in this materialistic world that does not have any of your interests at heart. It is a world of survival of the fittest. It is the purgatory. It is the hellfire that you've been hearing about. But when we talk about this hellfire, there are people who run hellfire, just like you will read in different religious belief or different religious book. You might read that hellfire talks about the devil or the Satan being the king in the hellfire. So that is what we are going to understand if you pay attention, very, very good attention to what we're talking about, because I am so excited to share this thought, to share my thoughts and my findings on this topic, because this topic is actually quite a profound topic. And of course, this understanding atom is the building block of everything in existence. Atom does not have sentience. Atom does not have sentience, but interaction of atom in living organisms help them to, create sentience, help them to have sentience. Interaction of atom in living organisms help them to develop sentience. So that's exactly what we are talking about. If we understand that, we go to the source. The source, actually, I can say, the nature of the source. And the source itself has no sentience. Otherwise, the sentience is dormant in the source because he cannot make use of the sentience. And I will tell you why. Because this exploration will change some conventional beliefs and invite us to consider a different perspective on how our relationship with the divine. Because like I've been saying here all the time, that everything we've been told, it's actually taught us, we were taught upside down, and that's the narrative we're here to change. And we are going to continue to talk about it until you get the in-depth knowledge of whom your creator is or where you came from. Because now we are seeing God as that omnipotent, omnipresence, omniscience, everything, without understanding him, without understanding the source, without understanding that it is the source that God came from. It is from the source that God came from. And if you cannot understand the beginning, you will not actually know how the end will be like. You must understand the beginning. You must know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And that is exactly what one of the mainstream religious, so-called religious book told us. But it is not religious book, but that is, by the way, it is a topic for another day. Because when we consider this perspective on our relationship with the divine, because throughout history, humanity has been grappling with the nature of God. But today, I discover an intriguing concept. Because God, often seen as the ultimate being, does not possess, God that you see as ultimate being does not possess sentience. Does not possess sentience. He cannot feel pain. It cannot feel pain. You cannot address him with he or she. It cannot feel pain. It cannot feel pain. It does not have emotions. It does not have emotions. That is one of the things that separate him with sentience. He does not feel pain. He does not work with emotions. He does not respond to stimuli, but it is actually quite opposite from what we thought all along he was. God operates like a program. The source operates like a program. The source is a program, but a natural program. It is from the source that the knowledge of programming computer came about. And if you understand the code writing and the knowledge of programming a computer, that anything you program comes with a law. God is a program, or the source is a program bound by immutable laws. A program that is bound by immutable laws. Immutable laws. These laws can never be broken. These laws can never be bent for anyone. And in this framework, God as a code or a program functioning through strict principles, unlike sentience being like you and I. You and I, we can break our principles. We can break our code. But the source is principled, and it can never go against that principle. And that's what makes him, I am that I am. He encompasses everything, In understanding this, narrative, you will actually question yourself about believing the existence of the devil. Because devil does not exist. Devil is a manifestation of the sentience being. Devil is manifestation of the sentience being, because when atoms interact in living organism, they develop sentience, and such sentience drive this, living organism and make them to be emotional, feel pain, and respond to stimuli. Now, when that happens, it means that you are actually susceptible to breaking the code, breaking the law, breaking the rules, because you are now a sentient being. Remember, but when we talk about the source, unlike the sentient being who can adapt to change and circumstances, it will suggest that God's actions are predetermined and operate within a set of laws. Predetermined. God does not work in a real time. He does not work in a real time. So all the prayers that we've been praying, it's actually a joke. We do not, it is not the way we're supposed to be praying to him, because the way we pray to him, it is praying to something that works in a real time. When the prayers that we're supposed to actually, adopt or employ is the prayer of understanding the laws. Because if we understand the laws and follow the laws, and that is the prayer that we're supposed to be praying, not kneeling down, sleeping in church, paying tithe and offering to a pastor that will enrich himself. If we understand the principles of the source, the principles of the source will elevate us and actually create that which we are looking for. It is just the principle, not praying every time. And I'm going to actually expand it, because when we actually understand that his actions are predetermined and operate within a set of laws that can never be broken or bent for anyone, because he has no emotions. It has no emotions. I wouldn't say he or she. It has no emotions. It has no sentience. It does not respond to stimuli. When you follow the law works for you. When you follow the law, things fall into place. But when you disobey the law, because he is not actually, he is not, every actions of him is predetermined. If you break it, it backfires. If you excel, you're rewarded. So you cannot actually say, I pray, please forgive my sins, forgive my sins. That's why the consciousness of Christ appeared, because every action is predetermined, and you cannot, go contrarily to it. That's what talks about the law of tooth for tat. Tooth for tat, the law of Moses. That exactly shows you that it is predetermined, everything about the source. The code is not bendable for anything, for anybody, regardless of whom you are. And that will challenge our understanding of divine justice and mercy, raising important questions about how God interacts with the world. This is very important question. How does God interact with the world? Because God does not interact with the world in a real time. That's why if you go today, pray from now to 100 years, nothing is happening. Nothing. If you believe that praying in the name of Jesus, I command you, I bind you, I cast you, I this, I that, is going to work. It does not work. It is your mind. And what works is your own doings, your own, character, your own behavior. If your behavior actually works in line with the code, if your behavior works in line with the code, everything that you wish to achieve that is actually deserving to you will automatically fall into place, because every action and inactions, everything is predetermined, bound by a principle that is not that can never be broken. Just like we know our atom being the building blocks of everything in our existence or in our physical reality, and this atom, it has its own laws. It has its own laws. If you understand the laws of this atom, you make use of it. You make use of it. If you understand the laws of this atom, you make use of it, and it will work for you because atom does not have sentience, does not have emotions, does not have pain, does not have feelings. So if you understand the laws, you work with it, you make use of it. But if you don't understand the laws, you can never make use of it. You will just be seeing things like oxygen, you see them, you see hydrogen, you see these two things, you see all those things but you wouldn't know what to do with them because you don't understand their functionality. You don't understand their laws. But immediately when you understand their laws, you will know that when you bring oxygen and you bring hydrogen together, it gives you some other things that can help you to thrive as a human being, as a sentient human. Now, when you don't know them, you cannot use prayers, you cannot use words, you cannot use anything to make it work for you. You must know the laws and you must go according to the laws for it to work for you, because everything within the laws of atom is predetermined, just like where it came from, the source of every creation. So atom works more like the source. That's why we are bringing the analogy between atom and the main source of creation, which many people call the wormhole, quantum entanglement. Now, if we understand that the laws is very important in everything that we do, the laws is very important, because when we talk about God, it means that we are talking about the things or the beings that came from the source. And for you to understand God, you must understand the source, the laws that governs the source. And that laws that governs the source, it's a law that can never be broken. Once broken, things, happen. Once you break the law, the consequences occur, and the consequences is quite dire. So that's something that we don't understand. That's why the law of tooth for tat, if you unalive someone, you must be unalived. You must be unalived. It is the law. It is predetermined. It is not, the reason why we actually find a lot of, crime, a lot of problems, a lot of, things in our world today, a lot of traumatic events, it's because we undermine the law. We began to undermine the law. Because the law says, if you unalive, you will be unalived. And except if that unalive is by mistake, then there might be consideration. But as long as you unalive someone, premeditated, and you go and carry out the action, consequences must be, repaid. There must be a consequences in that situation. And if you take it to physics, you will understand the motion, law of Newton, the Newton motion, third law of motion. Because when we begin to see physicists, or we begin to see, things of physics or science as the evil. But if we go deep into it, it is going deep into physics that I began to understand that even the books they call the book of religion, they are mathematics of words. They are mathematics of words. That's why they have to talk about precepts, they have to talk about chronology, they have to talk about the events, they have to talk about these things, because it's a mathematics of words that you need to put together. Maybe you get from old, you compare with the things you get from new, so you bring that narrative, you work the mathematics in order to get the result you are looking for. Everything that is within mathematics and physics is within the books that they call the book of religion today. It is the same laws that governs these two. That's why in our last chart we talked about theologians and the physicists are the same people. One uses words, the other one uses numbers that form equation. But the theologians are not there to do anything that is beneficial to the society, but they are there to actually indoctrinate the society based on what is actually enshrined within their theological, space or education. That's exactly what they give, because you cannot give what you do not have. Theologians does not have the secret of the creation or secret of a universe, or actually they don't have the potentials to understand the existence of the universe, because they were indoctrinated into indoctrinating others using the book of the book that they do not understand. That's exactly the conflict we find within our within this our realm of reality, when a pastor will come to tell you things opposite to the laws. Things opposite to the laws, because the pastors are meant to teach you the laws of the source. The laws of the source. They are not meant to tell you to pray. Pray, the source will forgive you. Believe me, whether you like it or not, whether you believe in the existence of Christ consciousness, it does not take away the fact that when you excel, you will be rewarded. When you actually, when you misbehave, you will be punished as per the law that is already, that is already in existence, that can never be changed. The only consciousness of Christ that appeared in the picture was all about the mercy. Let us, immediately when you make a mistake, you should not be stricken. If you make a mistake, let it be that judgment will follow. You will be skilled. How did you make this mistake? And that's where you find people being judged in the court of law. Because in those days, if you unalive, you get unalived. That's how people get justice. That's how people are tried in the court of law. Because Christ consciousness come into the party. It is the time that people adopt, the law court. The law court. Let's try him. Let's find out how guilty he is. Exactly. And the reason why Christ consciousness have to actually work within a living being, within human, is because the source has no sentience. He cannot feel. He cannot. Anything is programmed by law, immutable laws. So that's why consciousness of that such, of that magnitude, have to, be developed in order to guide and protect the creations, which is the creations, which are the gods. So that there will be principles and laws within the gods and the way they live. Because every sentience creation of the source is God. You and I, we are God. But immediately when we go out of the law, we misbehave and go contrary to the law, we become lesser than other gods. That other gods can prey on us. Because remember, everything that has, laws, predetermined laws, can be manipulated. Are you aware that God can be manipulated. But now, what protects that, what protects the source from being manipulated? What protect him or it from being manipulated by the gods? It is the principle, the immutable laws. Immutable laws. Remember, we are coming there. I am going to show you how people manipulate gods. The gods that understand how he works and how the law works, how they are able to manipulate him. There is no devil. The demon, the devil does not exist. You see what you call the devil, the demon, they don't exist. It is only one source where everything came from. It is the creations of that source, the creation from that source, that, like you and I, we became the devil and the demon. And the world of devil and the demon or Satan is actually the enforcement of the laws that is already, there. The predetermined laws, the enforcement of that predetermined laws is what we call the devil, because that's who will enforce this law and give you what you deserve. So the devil and the God, they work together. They work together. What we call the devil and the source, they work together. Because if you see police today, police and your government, they work together. But many people see police as the devil. They see police as the bad guys, right? But remember, police and your government work together. Regardless of how bad or how evil the police might be, but they are a branch of your government. Because most of the time we are scratching deep, not knowing that the truth we are looking for is on the surface and it is reachable, but we undermine it because it is within our reach. Every way, the way the world is structured, it is the way it is structured beyond our physical realm. And everything, most things we see in our physical realm, they are illusions. They are illusions. Until we transcend this physical realm, we will not stop living in illusion. And that illusion, people take advantage to manipulate other beings who are found within this physical reality, because they have understood the laws and they know how to bend the laws. Because the only thing that bends the law is sacrifice. Sacrifice. Those are the things that can bend the laws. Sacrifice. And when people don't understand that sacrifice is the only thing that brings these things closer, brings everything to work on your behalf. That is the reason why people will pray from now till 100 years. No one is answering them. Believe me, if you don't understand that laws, if you don't understand how to make use of that laws, pray from now till 1 million years. You are just fooling yourself. Fooling yourself. People who understand the law use sacrifice to manipulate the law. But now, manipulation of the laws has its own consequences. But there is a way that you can get the laws to work with you, to work for you with a sacrifice. But people who believe they can manipulate the laws by giving bigger sacrifice that is going to have consequences, they are the ones who are ruling this world. And those people, their consequences is being prolonged by more sacrifice. We are getting to that. We are getting to that. Because these are deep things that we need to actually understand. Because if we accept that God sentence is dormant or non-existent, I wouldn't say that the source sentence is not non-existent. I would say that it is dormant, because Even in atom, I would say that atom sentience is non-existence, because atom, if the interaction of atom within the living organism can make living organism develop sentience, it means that atom has sentience, but it is dormant. It is not non-existence. It is not non-existence, but it cannot make use of it. Because if it makes use of it, that means atom cannot obey anybody. Atom can do whatever it please, but it is the natural law that governs it. It will go beyond, it will actually not work within the natural laws. That's why that sentence must be dormant. The same applicable to the source of creation. The sentience is dormant. It is not non-existent. It is dormant. It cannot make use of it, because everything is predetermined. The laws are written. The laws are there. If you want nature to work on your favor, follow the laws of nature. Nature works for you. It is not about praying, and it is not about doing any other thing. Follow the laws of nature. The nature works for you. If you don't want to be getting, sick, you eat healthy. That is part of the laws of nature. You eat healthy. If you don't want to attract, bad things to you, do not do bad things to others. It is the law. It is simple. That law is not that difficult, but it is impossible, because we are living in materialistic world where everyone wants to survive. That's why the malevolent saw it that it is important for us to give these people fiat money when they are looking for fiat money to be powerful, and they brought about inequality. Once you look for fiat money to be powerful, we are going to be using you. We are going to be using you to prolong our sufferings by disobeying the laws of nature. They are using you, your energy, because sacrifice prolongs your suffering. But how many are you going to make before the sacrificial lamb is finished? It is a metaphor, but we are coming to explain it further. But we must consider the implications of our lives. Many people seek immediate reward, like wealth, quick wealth. This path is very important path, which is the reason why we are here. When you seek immediate reward, like quick wealth, a lot of people seek quick wealth, right? This quick wealth you are seeking, you will get it. Of course, like I said to you, the source can be manipulated, but the laws, the immutable laws, work, against the manipulator. It does not mean that it will not work. What you are looking for within the manipulation of the source is definitely going to work for you, but the immutable laws that is already, there is going to work against you. Listen to it. Listen to it. If anything happen, do not say it is the devil. The devil does not exist. The devil is a manifestation of your behavior. The devil is manifestation of your behavior. That is the devil. There is nothing there that is called the devil. It is manifestation of the behavior you possess that is called the devil. So let me now explain to you further how it works, because the implications of our lives, many people seek immediate reward like quick wealth, but often found themselves unhappy, right? Why is that? It is because pursuing instant gratification can bring unforeseen consequences, right? Can bring unforeseen consequences. because you are chasing after instant gratification. It brings unforeseen circumstances. And what are these unforeseen circumstances? What are all these implications? I don't know if you are here. Tap the screen, share the video. Tap the screen and share the video. Let other people join the program. I know we are busting the bubbles. We are exposing the secret, which the malevolent does not want people to know. And remember, if you know this secret, the malevolent will never use you anymore. The malevolent will never have dominion over you, because all you need is to remember. All you need is to know the truth that will set you free. The malevolent will no longer make use of your energy, because they are making use of your energy to prolong their suffering. And once we are all awake, the malevolent will no longer see your energy to be used to prolong their downfall. Therefore, malevolent will collapse and you are going to rise above your limitation, and we are going to go home, because earth is not our home. But we are going to have a program this evening, later this evening, or this afternoon, or in the morning, depends on how your time zone works with mine. Now, in Africa, it will be in the evening. In North America, it is going to be in fact, in Africa, it's going to be at night. North America, it's going to be within afternoon. Afternoon. So, if whatever you are doing, if you understand these things that I am going to share with you right now, you will not make that mistake. In case, of course, it has its own, nuances. Giving you this secret might want make you to go left. But going left has a lot of consequences that you might not be able to, withstand. That's why in the source, there is good and there is bad. That's why in your electricity, there is negative, there is positive. In your electricity, there must be negative, there must be positive, because negative and positive works together for good, and good and evil works together for good. God is, or the source is, the creator of good, is the creator of bad. So it is the two that works together for his creation, negative and positive. Devil does not exist, because you need that energy of the devil. You need the energy of God in order to work together. But now, there must be balance. That is what they call the equanimity. In everything you do, there must be balance. But let me share with you something. If you like, you go south. If you like, you go left. That is your problem. It is up to you. But I have shared with you that God is a program working with immutable laws, that the code is not bendable for anybody. But you can crack the code. How? But you will destroy yourself while cracking the code. It is not impossible to crack the code, but it is possible that you destroy yourself. Let's listen to this. Because many people want now blessing. You want now blessings, quick reward, quick wealth, but often find themselves unhappy. Then you ask yourself, why are those who do evil to be rich find themselves unhappy and they do not last? Because pursuing instant gratification can bring unforeseen consequences. Living for today, living your tomorrow today, can draw us closer to the dangers of tomorrow. Do you get that? If you wish to bring your futuristic blessings to today's world, because many people believe that let us live for today. We don't know what tomorrow brings, right? Living for today has a lot of consequences. Now we bring the future blessings to now. You bring your future blessings to now. What are the consequences? You will face the law that is called the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity. That's the law you are going to face. Because at the heart of this discussion, the law of reciprocity, what goes around comes back around. Every action has its own consequences. And those who understand this principle may still find themselves misusing it. Because they understand that anything that operates within the laws can be, there is a loophole. Laws can have a loopholes. That's why they understand this principle. They still might find themselves misusing the principle. Because God or the source operating within these laws implies that we are all responsible for our actions. Regardless of your intention, you are responsible for your action. Now think about those who are doing blood sacrifice. I don't know if you know about Manu rituals, blood sacrifice. These things are actually prevalent all over the world. Especially the big world that rule the world today. The only way they are having power to rule over all of us is blood sacrifice. And that blood sacrifice is the only thing that makes the law, that brings the luck of the future now. It is the only thing that makes the law, prolongs the law from its consequences. That sacrifice. There is good sacrifice, there is bad sacrifice. That's why you hear about the story of the Israelite fighting with the Philistine, and somebody has to sacrifice their children to the gods, and the gods gave them victory. Right? These are the same thing. It is in the Bible, but it has its own consequences. You manipulating the order of nature, disturbing balance, because every action has an opposite and equal reaction. Just like the Newton's third law of motion. It is opposite and equal reaction. Every action, it just goes this way. We call it karma. Other people say what goes around comes around, even enshrined in many religious texts. Even in ancient Mesopotamian, philosophy, or we call it myth. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. How does it work? When you unalive somebody to make wealth or gratification, there is laws of reciprocity that is going to affect you. That is the action reaction. Now you do it, you are going to get that. That's why you cannot call anything that is in existence the devil or the bad. The bad is what comes from your heart. What comes from the sentience being, that is what is called the devil. The enforcement of the laws of your action is what we see as the devil, which is not the devil. We are the devil. We display the acts of the devil. We display it. Then the laws take its course. We call it the devil. The concept of devil and the good does not exist. It is us that exhibit such. So now when we think about somebody or the big world using the blood of the whole world in order to, promote themselves to be in a hierarchy position where they will be controlling the whole world without having seen the consequences, believe me, whatever you see nations like the world powers are doing today, that they are highly on top, it is because they have understood the natural laws and they have understood the loopholes of the natural laws. And if you can understand the loopholes of the natural laws and start making it today, it will begin to work on your favor. But what is the consequences? Because the consequences is quite dire and you cannot withstand it. That's why people talks about Armageddon. Armageddon could be the consequences of their actions, because each time you see people fighting wars, each time you see people provoking wars, that war actually replenish the big world who are using blood sacrifice to enrich themselves and to empower themselves and to have dominion over the earth. Because that is exactly what is bringing, because as long as you are needing something that you do not work for, you need a sacrifice that will now catapult you to that level. And that sacrifice will always come with consequences. And that consequences is severe. If you decide to live your future now, you bring your future now with a sacrifice, with a blood sacrifice. And after you bring your future now with a blood sacrifice, you know what wastes you? You also bring the dangers of the future now. That's why they don't live long. They don't last. But the reason why the nations, it looks like the nation continue to win, it's because nations, they do not lack blood sacrifice. They can cause plane crash, they can cause natural disaster, they can provoke wars. So the blood is in quantum, the blood is everywhere. They can do anything that continue to prolong their, the laws of reciprocity, the opposite and equal reaction. They continue to promote it. But now, let me tell you how you are going to get away. Because one day, you might be one of those they will use their blood in order to promote their activities and prolong their penance. And remember, how are they going to use you? If you are not conscious, they will use your leaders to bring that. That's why, do you really think that those who promote the population agenda, do you really think it is just human being trying to, hurt another human being? They have gotten into it. So that's why they have to continue to honor life. They continue to honor life. Each time they honor life, people, that's when they gain more blessings. That's when they gain more, more power to control. It is been in their nature. They have activated the devil that you call in them, the malevolent in them, because it's in every human. It's up to you to activate. But activation of that makes you more evil, and the consequences is dire. If you read the book of Isaiah 12 or 13, you see the consequences of their actions. Because many people, when I'm saying this, people believe, so is that easy? It is not that easy. The reason why you see the war in Palestine, the reason why you see war in Ukraine, the reason why you see war all over the place, and this war, there is only one nation that is actually promoting these wars. Because the blood of those who are being unalived within these wars are replenishing them and giving the beast power, more power. Because the beast must feed on blood. And where are all this blood sacrifice going to? It is going to the source, the creator of all. Because just like I said, the creator of all, it's not living, it's not in real time. He doesn't work in real time. It's like a program. It's like a program. His actions, it's programmed already with immutable laws. So those who understand those immutable laws believe they can manipulate the laws, forgetting the reciprocity of the laws, which, if you understand these secret societies that we talk about, those secret societies that we talk about, they just understand the laws. That's why everything bad they do, they call it dark energy. They call it dark power. They call it dark this, dark, because darkness is the source. Darkness is the highest power. But darkness you can make you use bad of it, you can make good of it. Because if you understand that everything is intertwined, everything is intertwined, nothing is different, everything is from one source. It's one multiply, it keep on expanding. It is not dormant, it is not reducing, it continue to multiply good, multiply bad, one continue to expand. So it is from one source. So he is the devil, he is the source. But many people who don't understand it will say this guy is crazy, this guy is something else. No, the reality, it is bound by immutable laws. So those nations who cause wars, who cause plane crash, who feed the blood to the to amend, because remember that anything that is not in line with the law of nature, there must be something you do to appease the nature, because there must be balance. So every evil they do, they use blood sacrifice to bring balance, because if you don't bring balance immediately, the law of reciprocity is going to occur. It is going to occur. The law of reciprocity, it won't take time to occur, but continuous blood sacrifice will allow it to occur. That's why you understand that we are in that time of awakening where people will begin to realize, why am I warring? Why am I fighting? Why am I hating? Why do I need to hate other people? When you begin to think about it, nobody will push you to go and fight wars anymore. And the malevolent will not have access to blood that they need to sacrifice in order to keep you down and keep themselves higher above you. It is behavior. When you adopt Christ consciousness, because that is about the things that deals with Christ consciousness. When you begin to adopt Christ consciousness, that's when you will understand that I don't need to unalive people. I don't need to do anything bad to people. I don't need to do sin. I don't need to actually, go contrary to the laws. I need to do good. Then nobody will use you against one another. And when nobody is able to use you against one another, malevolent will not be able to use you against one another. Do you know what happens next? The malevolent will fall, because there is no more blood to prolong the law of reciprocity. Do you now understand the complexity? What goes around comes around. It goes. When your clock tick, tick, tock, tick, tick, tock, it comes back up where it is. So anything that happens here yesterday will still repeat itself here. If there is nothing that actually stop it from happening, it will continue to happen. So if you do something that will now make this thing not to happen the way it is, you must find a way to bring balance, so for it not to disturb the equilibrium. For it not to disturb the equilibrium, every blood that you spill must, is disturbing the nature of balance. It's disturbing the nature of balance. And when you do it, you must appease to bring back balance. And when you continue to spill blood to appease, your consequences continue to expand. Listen to it. Let us actually try to go into where the consequences is. Because when I say that I don't know any of you who are listening, go to the book of Isaiah 13. Book of Isaiah 13. It is in every religious, so-called religious book. Those are not religious books. Those are natural laws book. Book for natural laws. It is not religious book. And the consequences of natural laws. It is the church and the Vatican, the Council of Nicaea, decided that they will religionize the book. They will now make the book a book of religion. Platform of lies and deceit. Platform that will not show you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and for you to choose what you want to become, and show you the consequences of the good, the bad, and ugly, but they will continue to code it into a figuratives, into mathematics, because everything about our physical reality is mathematics and figuratives. If you cannot the code, if you cannot uncode, if you cannot actually, understand the code, you will wallow in your ignorance. And that's why the Bible is like disjointed, because it is not necessarily, it is disjointed because they want to make it so difficult for you to understand that it is figurative and it has nothing to do with the church. It is the mathematics of words. It has nothing to do with the church. Now, when you disobey the law of natural law that is immutable, unbendable, when you disobey it, the consequences is dire. And that's why you see those big world that is causing wars for other people, funding it, making more money, while they are causing wars, funding it, making more money. Let's see what awaits them. It is a book of history. What happens 1901 will still happen in the year after, in the same time. Because time, you see, is just something like an illusion. Everything works according to the law of reciprocity. What goes around will continue to come around, except if you delay it. You can, but for how long? If we all wake up to love each other today, the bad guys will fall. The big world that exploits you will fall. If we all wake up to love each other right now, the big world will collapse. Because you can't pick up a gun to say, I'm going to unalive someone right now. No. If we can do that and avoid all this bloodshed, because which time they push you to bloodshed, it is only going to empower the malevolent. Then the benevolent are going to sit like as if they are doing everything bad, but they are the good guys. Listen to it. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That the malevolent will no longer use your energy to prolong their suffering. You will see, if majority of the people in our planet Earth today begin to understand that Jesus we talk about is not a human being who will come and die for you. It is a consciousness you need to embrace. Consciousness of love. And watch what is going to happen to the bad guys. It will not even take like a decade, because they will look for they will use, they won't find no more. And the consequences will automatically occur. Let's read the book of Isaiah. I don't know. I don't know if I have a Bible here. Let's see. Is there a Bible on this phone? Let's see if we are going to read it, so that you will see what will happen to malevolent. Remember that, of course, many people detest Bible because they don't understand it is the natural laws and order and the law of reciprocity that is found there. How you actually live and how you destroy the bad guy. Devil does not exist. We actually, our action of the actions of the sentience being is what exactly manifests the devil. Listen, let's find the Bible. Let us find the Bible. This evening topic is going to blow your mind. This evening we are going to actually, Central Time. Central Time, it will be 8 o'clock. Southern region time, it will be probably, is it 9 o'clock? Yeah, Central African time to this evening. Now, if we go to the book, let me find the book. I can't find the book here. Let me find the book here. If we go into the book, I want to read for you how it is going to be. That's when you will know that all these things that they've been prolonging, how it is going to come. you are going to sit down, you the good guys, you are going to sit one place, you will be crying, weeping for the malevolent. But you weeping for them, you have no idea what they have done to you. That's why people like me are not going to weep for the malevolent. It doesn't matter because they know, and I have seen the secret, I have known the secret, I have known the secret of existence. Therefore, the law of reciprocity is actually, you are not, even you as a good guy, you are not exceptional. Anything bad, no matter how small you do it, the law of reciprocity is going to occur. It is going to take its course. You can't run away from it. So the reason why we are not understanding, while we are looking for that Bible verse, I'm looking for Isaiah 13. Isaiah 13, if you can put it up for me. So while we are looking for that, I want you to understand that this law of reciprocity, it's a law that must bring balance. Do you know that our planet is floating within the oblivion? Or will I say, it doesn't have, it is like a balloon floating on the air, right? A balloon floating on air. Now that is our planet. So what keeps it floating is balance. Balance. If there is no balance, it will collapse. So we are going to see the repercussion. 13. Make it Isaiah 13. The repercussion, if you also read the book of Isaiah 45:7, that's when you will know that there is no existence of the devil. There is no existence of Satan. It is the manifestation of our behavior. Isaiah 45:7. A manifestation of our behavior. No, Isaiah 12, not 13. Isaiah 12. Isaiah 12, not 13. Isaiah 12. Let's see what it will be like the day all of you gather yourselves and begin to love one another. The day all of you are not going to see yourselves as, no, this one is a white. That one is, because the malevolent comes mostly from the white people, whitey people. Believe me, they come mostly from the whitey people. It is not a joke. And I'm not doing profiling, but that is the reality of our existence, and that is because they are susceptible to the malevolent, to these manipulations of this the reptilian race. Now, so if those will begin to see darkness as divine and not the devil, if they will begin to see the people of dark skin as the divine, not the devil, those people who are ruining their life, sending them to wars, that they continue to produce the blood that replenishes the bad guys amongst them, them they will escape it. If you do not, believe me, let me show you what is going to come. It is inevitable. Immediately when people begin to love each other, more people love. Vibration of love is preventing the malevolent to be unaliving you and using your energy to establish balance to their evil nature. Let's hear. Let me start from verse 1. And in that day thou shalt say, O Lord, I will praise thee. No, not, is it? I think I'm reading the wrong one. Let's see the 14. Let's see the 13. The burden of Babylon. 13. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. We're going to also see it even in... we are going to look into it in Bhagavad Gita, the Hinduism religion. We're going to look into it, even Buddhism. We're going to also see things like that in ancient Mesopotamia philosophy or their myth. But let's read it to the one that many people know, are familiar with. Now let's see it. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gate of nobles. Let me see if I'm reading the same thing. Is this King James? Is it King James? Okay. Let's continue. 13. Let me try to read fast. Lift ye up banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gate of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdom of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mastereth the host of the battle. They cometh from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord, and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. The whole land. How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. Like I said to you, you are going to sit one place crying for the sake of these people who has been very devilish, who bring death upon you, who bring ruin upon you, who bring depopulation upon you, who bring all these things upon you. All you need to let this happen is love each other. And that's why they don't want you to love. That's why they go about dividing nations, dividing people. Because they know the day you actually embrace love, the day you actually embrace love, that is the day they stop using your energy. That is the day they will fall. And if you believe that you don't want to embrace love, it will still fall, and all of you will be touched, because there is a expiry date. Like I said, it is a program that is already there, that it takes time. But remember, there is a time of renewal, and we are heading to the time of renewal. That's why they talk about 5 dimensions. The time of renewal. That's where we are heading. So whether you love or whether you chose to wallow in your ignorance, it is going to come. But right now, it is going to affect all of you. It is going to affect everyone. Let's see how bad this situation is. It is not a myth. This is the reality that works with time. It takes time to adjust. Listen to it. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, woman in labor. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flame. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, to lay the land desolate. And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the heightness of the terrible. You know how arrogant the big world are. We are the big world. We are the God of this world. You cannot challenge us. Why didn't you go out there? You saw a video making round where people, because Africans are waking up thinking about how they are going to basically, free themselves or emancipate themselves from all this, exploitation of the West. You find people making videos, or YT people making videos. Why would they not go there with their military and force people to do what they want? That is, you see, that's what we are reading here. It is happening, but we cannot see them. We cannot see them. Now, it says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the heightness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the gold wedge of Ophir. That's when we begin to adopt Christ consciousness. Remember, I told you Christ is not somebody who is going to come and save you from the malevolent. No, it is you who will become Christ. It is you who will become Christ. When you become him, that is when he said he will make you to be golden, and he will make you to be more finer like gold than gold. Embracing Christ consciousness, loving, caring, sacrifice, not sacrifice for selfish benefit, sacrifice to help one another. Those who think that they are God, like some of our whitey children, because they are our children, they are born of darkness, even though they decide to hate darkness, they are born of darkness. We gave birth to them. Of course, it is not it was like a forceful, relationship with what we call, if you read the ancient, the Anunnaki text, you will see how everything actually emanated. But they call us darkness, they call us evil, because we are the raw. Everything good is in us. Everything bad is in us, because they came from us. They decided to embrace the badness, the bad of us, and they begin to hate where they came from. And now, it does not matter whether you are a whitey. What matters is for you to change your arrogant way, believing that you are special, believing that you are better than others, believing that light is divine, darkness is evil, and must be vilified. It is not going to help you, because these things that we are talking about is coming for you. And you are not going to change it. You are not going, the only way to change this is to change your evil ways. Change your seeing others as less human and you are better human. It doesn't mean that you are not going to pay for the crime of hate and the discrimination you've done in the past, but it will not be severe, because everything that you do has a consequences. You will pay for those that you have hated already, but make it easier for you. Because if we continue to read down, that's why I would want to read this with King James Version. Because if I read it with King James Version, that's where we will understand. We will understand exactly. Now, let me see this King James Version. Maybe you will understand better. This is not about I am better than these people. Because if you understand that the darkness we see today, it began to, be bad because you created it to be bad. You made it to be bad. It was not supposed to be bad, but you made it to be bad. That is what we call the aftermath of colonialism and every other thing that it comes with. Because it is Colonialism that vilified darkness, which darkness was a primordial state of creation, and the vilification of this primordial state of creation, the natural order, balance must be brought in. And for balance to be brought in, consequences is going to occur. Reciprocity, the law of reciprocity is going to occur. You know the reason why, understanding, like, people of my, like, the way I have actually studied and understand the nature of this, our physical reality, I am bound, if I don't understand it fully or know the law of reciprocity, I am bound and supposed to hate even whitey people, because of some of their arrogance. And sometimes when they feel like they want to like you, it is a relationship of they form a relationship of what you call the relationship that favors them. It is not really relationship that is supposed to be there. It is relationship of convenience. That's the type of relationship they will form with you. Relationship of convenience, but deep down their heart, they hate you. But forgetting that they hate you, but they don't know that you gave birth to them. They brought discrimination to this world. They bring division to this world. They bring hatred to this world. If they don't use this opportunity while they are up here to bring balance and bring everything back to normal, because they have the ability to do so, what I just read is going to be inevitable. It is not like I said. This evening we are going to dip into this more and tell you how the reason why this earth is not our home. Earth is not where we're supposed to be. Earth is where we were pushed to go. We were pushed to go. That is earth. That is earth. We were pushed to go. And what I am going to also make reference from the book of Enoch, make reference from the ancient Mesopotamia, and we're making reference from the Hindu religious, from Buddhism. We're going to make reference from everywhere you want us to find a reference. We're going to bring it to you so that you will know why we are here. You will know the reason why we are here, the purpose, and until we discover that purpose, we continue to be here. We're not going anywhere. Just like I have shown you, I have shown you that book that talks about the consequences of those who are doing everything that they can to make sure they are above every other person, every other human. That is exactly what we are talking about. So it says, if you read further that 13 going down, it talks about that children will be unalived in front of their parents. Children will be dashed through in front of their parents. And if anybody that is found in that land will be destroyed. This is not a myth. This is not a story. Like I always say in this page, you use the past to solve the future. You understand the story of the deluge. You understand the story of the deluge. You can still see the impact of the deluge today. You understand the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Remember that what they are going to use, what this source is going to use in this type of 5 dimension where people are going to know the truth and the truth shall set them free. This time of 5 dimension where there will be pole shift, eclipse, which is going to cause the study of darkness, which is the God appearing in its original form, which is the source appearing for what it is, darkness. Darkness will appear and will not move. Moon will not come out the sun will not come out. Everywhere you will now only be seeing smokes on that day. This is not a story for children. But this is not good night story for children. This is not a mythical story as you may know it. This is not fictional story, but that's what they will call it because they believe you will be there giving them blood to replenish, to run away from the law of reciprocity. It is not that time. Once the time is right, because God knows that people will, or the source knows that people will at some point define the law and or manipulate the law with blood sacrifice. So he created a time for renewal and introspection. Time for renewal, and that time of renewal, it doesn't matter your blood sacrifice, everything is going to go down. So that is the time we are at right now. If you have ears, you hear. If you do not have ears, understanding physics. Physics is a very beautiful, subject, and understanding astrophysics is a very beautiful subject, but the people who understood it, does not want to use it to enlighten the world. They want to use it to make only money for themselves. But I am using the knowledge I have acquired within this space to actually educate you, to enlighten the world. Because what is to come, like I said to you, I have been able to explain to you that God is not a sentient being. It does not work with emotion. So if the babies are being unalived, if the babies are just like you see what's happening in Palestine, where they say they're bombing the schools, God doesn't feel that. He doesn't. It is the consequences of the actions of these Palestinians in the past they are facing. And after such, the consequences of the actions of Israel is going to come forth. You will never run away from it. Everything that has beginning has an end. Israel, when they start paying for their own crime, believe me, you will also cry for them the way you are crying for Palestinians. Because it is the law of reciprocity they have done to you. And that thing they did to you, they will receive it in double portion for balance to be brought back. That's why if you understand the physics, if you understand the law of physics, that if you actually expose humidity or you expose chemicals that is going to bring humidity in a particular place, you might find something called tornado. You might find something called tornado, rolling wind, to bring balance, which is because that humidity you brought to that atmosphere, it is not common, it is not of a natural cause. So rolling wind will come, or like a tornado, to come and bring balance. And while bringing that balance, people might be unalived. There will be casualties because you have done it against the order of the nature. So that thing comes. It doesn't want to know who is who or what is going on. But at the end of the day, that is why the reason why I make this analogy is that on that day, the children of this malevolent will be slaughtered in front of us. You will be watching and you will be crying. And if you want to have mercy on them, you will be slaughtered as well. Because it is the law of reciprocity. It does not change. That's why malevolent and all these so-called interplanetary organizations, they are so keen in finding a way to avert the 5th dimension, to avert this pole shift, but they cannot. That's where the Almighty, the Creator of all, I am that I am, is going to display that He is still Him, yesterday, today, and forever. It doesn't matter how much you manipulate the system remains. Soldier go, soldier come. The system remains. So that system, it's going to take the laws of the reciprocity is going to take its course. Renewal and Judgment Day. That's what it's called. It's going to arrive and people are going to cry because you will watch children being unalived. Imagine that scenario. You as a parent of that children will be running on the other side. Your children will be running on the other side. You won't even see time to see them. You won't have time to actually run after them. Because what you are going to see is going to terrify you. Your brain is not going to even function to know who is who within you. That's what is coming. That is the reason why the malevolent is so scared of the pole shift. He's so scared of the 5th dimension. He's so scared of revelation time. He's so scared of awakening. Because once you wake up, you stop doing all this, your petty hatred, petty crime, all these petty things that brings about hatred on one another. The malevolent will no longer have anyone to use against someone. The malevolent will give up. The law of reciprocity is going to occur. That's the only thing that the nature is waiting for. If you do it, there will be no more plane crash. There will be no more wars. There will be no more people hating each other. That is the only thing you need to do. Because the more they force you into war, the blood of those who are being unalive is empowering them. Blood sacrifice. This is the only thing that actually, creates something like a balance within the equilibrium. That bloody war that is funded by the same people, funded both sides. It is being funded by both sides. The one people are funding wars, both sides. They give incentive to the people who are being unalived. They give weapon to people who are unaliving them. That's the way it is. Think about it. Make it make sense to you. So this evening we are going to join we're going to continue this evening and to bring it to you exactly what we're talking about. We're going to bring an illustration on our computer screen this evening so that you will understand the realm where we are. You will understand how this realm works, and you will understand how equilibrium works and how this balance is actually, triggered. Because in our world, when we exist here, we are existing somewhere else, but we don't know. We're existing somewhere else. We don't know. But I'm going to actually teach you how it is. If you pay attention and remove your indoctrination, because most of the things that does not enable you to understand or pay attention to this type of, realistic topics, it's about the indoctrination that you've gone through. It doesn't allow you, because the indoctrination makes you not to know who is God, but I'm praying to it. Who is this God I'm praying to? How does he work? Because you must know how the law works. If you don't know how the law works, you will break the law. If you don't know how God is, you will continue to find him in different things that is not him. He doesn't work in real time. He works with the laws. Break the laws, you face the consequences. Promote the laws, your prayers are answered. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. There is no devil, there is no demon. It is the manifestation of your heart. Manifestation of your heart and the sentience being that brings about the devil, that brings about anything that we call the devil today. It is the manifestation of our behavior, the consequences of our actions, the consequences of our action that brings about all this. When we talk about human condition, the perspective encourages us to reflect on the human condition. Like what we have said will make you to reflect on human condition, because many people navigate lives or many people will navigate life without fully understanding the laws, or these laws that we have talked about. Law of reciprocity, what goes around comes around. Law of balance. Without even understanding these laws, they often fall into cycle of disappointment. The desire for quick reward can lead to a never-ending quest for validation. That's exactly what you see the big world are doing. The desire for quick reward. The desire for quick reward. They want to be on top. And they will continue to seek validation. And to seek validation, they need to cause wars. They need to bring brothers and brothers fighting. They need to bring people being displaced, capsizing in the ocean, in Mediterranean seas. They need to bring about it because they will seek validation at all time, because they have disturbed the equilibrium. And at the end of, as long as they continue to feed this blood, it will continue to prolong their suffering. That is to show you the reason why God will not have, the source will not have pity even on the children, on their children, is because the source knows that it is those people in the past that is coming to be children today. Those adults who did evil in the past is coming back to become children, because we do not die, we recycle. We are being recycled. We are, doing it again. The same way the clock works, the same way we walk. It goes down, it comes up. It goes down, it comes up. It goes down, it comes up. It starts afresh. So that's why he does not care. He does not care. Quick reward can lead to never-ending quest for validation. All these people who do criminality, who do all sort of criminality, they want validation, so they become so addicted to that criminality. Because of that validation, they will continue to seek. It is the same thing, whether big validation, whether big criminality or small, you will continue to seek validation. But at the end of the day, you will be met with disillusionment when your expectations are not met. Remember, if you love each other, there will be no one who will cause each other to fight. The expectation of those who cause war to other countries will no longer be there. So they are going to meet with disillusionment, disappointment, and downfall. If people want those big wars that cause war all over the place to collapse today, now, begin to love. Forget these material things that is all over the place. It will come to you. Those material things will automatically come to you. You won't even think about it. It will be coming. It will be coming. It's no joke. Begin to love. Begin to care. Don't undermine. It will only lead you to disillusionment when your expectations are not met. But we should start rethinking spirituality. Because if we consider the concept of evil, what we often refer to as the devil might not exist. It doesn't. It does not exist as a separate entity. Instead, you will understand it as the repercussion of these divine laws. The repercussion of these divine laws that we experience in our lives. That is what we call the devil. The repercussion of these divine laws that we experience in our lives. Those are what you call the devil. When the devil does not exist. It doesn't. It does not exist. It is you that is the devil. It is you that is the bad guy. That is the devil. And you cannot run away from you being the devil, because you know it, that you are the devil. But people are going to be in the denial of it because on Sunday you go to